Hey guys, I'm Olivia.
I'm Devin.
And I'm Catherine.
And you probably know us from the Holy Mess Express podcast.
But this is our first official video of the Holy Mess Express.
Same messy lives, same fate, just a little more face-to-face this time.
So grab your Alani, your sweet tea, your coffee, whatever is going to make you come alive, and get ready. Buckle up, because this is the Holy Mess Express. So we're going to go ahead and get started sharing our mess today. We were definitely cracking up at some of the listeners' messes, so I'll share a couple of those after we all share ours for the week. Also, I'm very sorry now that we're videoing that y'all have to see my 1980s stereo behind me, but our bonus room is the last room in the house to get remodeled. So it's probably going to look like this till literally oh my gosh, it's already 2025. I thought it'd be like 2030, but that's only
That'll be
5
here
years
before you
from
know
now.
it.
So maybe 2040. I don't know. Okay. That's crazy, y'all. Anyways, okay. So who wants to go with their mess first? Anybody?
Catherine, do you want to go first?
I'm still trying to decide what my holy mess is. But I think I'm just gonna go with the one where my kid had a 24-hour biting habit.
Who?
So he hasn't done it since, which
Good.
I'm very happy. It only happened 2 times. One was during excitement, and then one was during when Laney was playing in something that he wanted to play in. But I don't know if it was like really meant to be mean. But I was spiraling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, he's in a biting phase. Like he's gonna go to school and bite his friends, and I'm so scared. But I will say, after he bit Laney, he felt really, really bad.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, but I was like, I didn't have to bite him back. But I was like, that was like, she screamed enough to scare him. And then I was like, buddy, that you can't hurt your sister. And then I had to drive to mom's work and drop something off to her. And I told her about it. And I was telling her the story. And he looked over at her and went, it was so cute. And then she went over to his side because she was over at Laney's side, and then kind of talked him through it, like, buddy, we don't use our mouths to bite, like all this stuff.
Right.
Yes. So he hasn't done it since, but
Good.
that was my Holy Mess Express, because I was like, oh my gosh, my kid is going to be a biter. And I was so worried. We're good. We're all good. It hasn't happened.
Yay.
And it is so easy to spiral. Like when they do one little thing, you just start thinking about all the future scenarios, and it's like they're literally just learning. Like,
Right. That's a good point. And I'm probably not a good help when it comes to that, because I'm like, oh, just bite him back.
Well, my sister-in-law brought up, she was like, Catherine, he's teething. And I was like, But like everything was like during excitement, like there was something that provoked it, you know?
Well, when they're that little, they don't understand the emotions, and he was probably just like,
yeah.
I mean, honest to goodness, this is so funny. I've had to tell Caleb not to like bite then. Does that make sense? Like when he's like excited or something.
Yeah.
This sounds so stupid. Not that he bites them, but like he'll joke around about like I'm gonna get a rib sandwich, and it's like, dude, don't do that, because they're literally gonna go and try to give somebody a rib sandwich, and it's not gonna be that. Or like with Bennett, I may have been the one like, I'm gonna eat your toast, and then he was just doing it to Laney. Maybe that's what he was doing.
I might have been, but it was like a hard bite.
Okay.
But it makes sense because my mom does that too.
Yeah, like it's stuff that we've done that they do. Like we noticed that with Tate. So we just had to mix it all together, all that kind of stuff. But Devin, you want to go? You got one?
yes. Mine this week was probably, I was trying to make dinner while I was trying to make a TikTok. I don't know if y'all saw it. I think it was my chicken parm bites. If you didn't see it, you should see it and make those. They're so good. But I was grating the Parmesan cheese. I started getting just blocks of Parmesan and grated literally a hole into my thumb. I won't show you, but it's like, it's right here. Anyway, I was just grating, and it like sliced a huge hole in my thumb. So I'm like in the middle of filming TikToks, trying to keep Chapel entertained because Spencer wasn't home from work yet, trying to make dinner.
Do it for the TikTok. You had to
literally, like, meanwhile, my thumb is like gushing blood, and I have like a paper towel wrapped around, and I'm like, okay, and next you're gonna put the breadcrumbs into the bowl.
With a little bit of tomato paste, the blood.
A little bit of blood, you know, just a splash.
At least it was chicken parm. Nobody will know. And then everybody else loves your blood.
There you go.
With you.
And Spencer came home, and I was like, look what I just did. He was like, dang, you went all the way to the dermis. Like, you passed the epidermis and went straight to the dermis. I was like, yeah, so it's like deep in there.
And you had a wedding this weekend. Like, what'd you do?
I know. I was so worried that it was gonna like, but I don't know. I guess since we're on video, I can show it doesn't look that bad. I know.
Oh, okay, but still, like,
Yeah.
the fact that it happened with a grater.
It like
Yes.
went one of the grates and it sliced it.
Yes, and like the skin was
the cheese.
yes.
I didn't crack it up.
It was bad.
Devin, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's hard.
It was a mess. It was a true mess.
True mess. Blessed.
I know.
We're just always messy over here. I made a blog about how I literally baptized myself in my coffee. When I tell you, I was soaked to my bottom. I walk in and the secretary was like, "Good morning." I was like, "Good morning." I was like, "I don't even know how to feel right now." She's like, she saw it because it was all over my stomach.
Did the lid come off?
It looked like liquid diarrhea. Yes, the lid came off because my mom was like, "Hey," she was keeping the kids for me. So she was like, "Hey, do you want some coffee?" Heck yeah, free coffee. Let's go. So we get there. She was doing something in the kitchen. So I just grabbed one of her cups that I knew that she didn't really use. She got like a Krispy Kreme cup, but somebody got that for her. I'm so sorry. But anyways, so I was like, I would just use this one. And then I guess like my dad, if he's listening, that is so gross. But anyways, I guess my dad, and if he's looking for his lid, I have it, had a lid on the counter. I thought it was the lid to the Krispy Kreme. My ADHD medicine has been out for a while, and I'm just trying to not, but this proves I need it. So I just grabbed it. I was like, "Oh, it's fine." Put on the cup. So I get in the car, like everything's fine. And then I had to unload all my stuff. Like I had to grab all my stuff to go. And I always use a Yeti cup. Caleb is a firm believer in a Yeti because whatever, this just proved his point. So I guess I always, when I knock my Yeti, the cup doesn't pop off. Like I went through the same motions I always go through. Sometimes I'll get like a little dribble on me, but that's normal for me. I'm always going to have something on my shirt. Well, when I tell y'all it hit the steering wheel, I guess the wrong way, the lid popped off, drenched. Look in the floorboard and there's like this much coffee, like puddled. I was like, I don't even know what to do. So I was like, you know what? I have my stuff in my hand still. So I was like, I'm just going to go put it in my, like, classroom. I was ill. Like, you know how you are when you're just like, and it was a work day. So I was like, dude, I need to get this work done so I can go home. Okay. So I walk in and sweet secretary, she's like, "Well, at least the kids aren't here." I was like, "Yeah, but I'm soaked to my tail." Like there was no like, "Oh, it's okay."
It'll dry.
Like I was uncomfortable and it takes a lot for me to be uncomfortable. Yeah. So went back, like I went to my friend Shannon's room and I was like, "Just look at me." I told her all the things. I was like, "I'm just gonna go home." She was like, "Yeah, just go start over." I was like, "I am."
Just try
So
again.
legit, I went, started over. Came in the house. He was like, "Are you literally home?" I was like, "Look at me." Y'all, when I was driving down the road, I was like, and my freaking radio's not working. It was skipping because I had spilled it on the steering wheel. It was like skipping. And then somebody was like, "Well, you need to check that." I was like, "Well, it didn't do it on the way back. So maybe we got it all."
dried out.
It dried up in there.
But that was probably like, whatever, like the staple of the Holly Mess Express of originated spilled coffee.
Yeah.
That was it. The Tooth Fairy also had one at our house. I guess she's just, assigned to our house. So she's going to have a Holly Mess as well. But she did drop a quarter in the fairy garden. And so Emmy Kate wrote her a note. She didn't know if she meant to drop the quarter or not. So I guess we'll stay tuned tomorrow. To
I bet it
see
got
if
too
Emmy-
heavy on her way out.
Bet it got too heavy. I don't know. So just know that everyone in our life is on the Holly Mess Express, including the Tooth Fairy.
Yep.
It's fun times over here.
We're all there.
But okay, so can I share with y'all one listener's Holly Mess Express?
Yes.
I
please
haven't
do.
shared it with y'all yet. Okay, so this listener is just funny. This listener isn't my family. I won't put it out there. So he had jury duty this week. And he said he had to go to the bathroom. Obviously, he was there for a while. So he said he goes to the bathroom. It's time for him to leave. He had already locked his keys in the car. So Caleb had to take him to the courthouse, okay? Because he had locked his keys in the car. He was like, "I can't be late because like you get in trouble for that."
Yeah.
So he's on his way out waiting for somebody to pick him up because he was like, he didn't want to inconvenience anybody. Y'all. He said he walked out. So if y'all go to the courthouse, he was explaining it like you have to walk past like the sheriff deputies or whatever. He He walks past them. They're like, have a good day, whatever. They didn't really say much. He gets outside and there's this guy that's like, you know how people hang out around the courthouse.
Mhm.
He was like, hey, bro. And my dad like, well, sorry, Dad. He gave it away. He was like, what? Like, everything okay? He was like, bro, you got a long tail of toilet paper hanging now your pants. He was like, nobody told me. He walked up. He said,
All
thank
these
God that
people were
they
saying-
told him, or he would have been outside waiting for my brother to pick him up. It's like, my gosh. And yeah, so I had to share that listener's holy mess.
I am
because-
always the first person to say you got something in your teeth.
Why did no one tell him? You know, they were like, that guy had toilet paper.
I know. That's
He walked
awful.
from the bathroom. That means he walked past the lawyer. I'm dead.
No.
So I think that I will always, thanks, Dad, for that story. But I think I will always be checking my pants from now on in the bathroom.
I always check my shoes. I'm so nervous because, you know, people leave stuff on the floor all the time. I'm always
That's
like,
true. That's true. I'm dead. I am dead.
That is-
That one was a good one. It didn't happen to me personally. It did happen to a listener. Another listener shared some stuff, but I don't want to share it unless I have like full permission, you know?
Yeah.
So if you do want to share your Holy Mess Express, we really do want to start sharing those up here. There have been some good ones. So I'll ask the listeners that have shared if I can share. One girl did say one time, like when we prayed on one of the first episodes, she wouldn't care. I'm not gonna say her name, but she started praying with us, and her son was like, Mom, you're driving." She was like, "Oh, yep," like opened her eyes. I was like, "That's a good one. That's a really good
funny.
one." Anyways, this is one of my favorite parts because even in the mess, we can still see God. So, does anybody want to go first on how you've seen God show up for you this week? Or how you're seeing God through the mess?
As I was thinking about my mess and slicing my thumb open while trying to do 5 million things at one time, I was trying to think, like, okay, what can God teach me in this? And I think just to slow down. Like, I think especially once dinner time hits, you know, like dinner, bath, bed, and it's just rush. And I feel like a lot of my days, I just like, I'm very schedule oriented. It's the teacher in me. I like to do this at this time and this at this time. And sometimes I have to stop and be like, why am I rushing through things when I have nowhere to be? Like, why am I trying to rush through the day when like God has put me here for a reason and I need to slow down? You know?
Yeah. That's a good reminder, Devin, because
Yeah.
I feel like the same. And when Trenton gets home, it's like go time.
Yes.
You know, and then
Yeah.
I like find myself like looking back on it and I'm like, dang, I was really pushy. You know,
Yeah.
like I could have laid off of him a little bit. Like he just had a really busy day at work. And I was like, nope, we got to get the kids here. Grab this. We're going upstairs. You know, I'm like, dang, I was a drill sergeant.
That's no, I feel like that's the woman in us too.
Yeah.
Like that is okay. We finally have help. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember even when Caleb was deployed, like nobody was coming home, but I still like even with the kids, I was like, okay, 7:00, Kate, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And you know, like if we didn't do it, I would get irritable.
Yeah.
Be like you know, I feel like that's just part, and I think it can be used for the good because they do need that structure, they do need that whatever. But it's like not rushing through those things.
Also, like one extra book during story.
Yes,
You know, like,
yes.
oh, no, because, like, I found myself, like, nope, we already read our like,
Yes.
the little thing in his Bible, and I was like, nope, we've already done that. I'm like,
Mhm.
dang, I totally could have let him read one more book, you know?
Yes,
And
I
I
think that's good.
yeah, but that's a really good reminder, Devin.
Yes.
Slow
And I
down.
think too, I shared last week about how I was trying to give up control about time and schedule for chapel. And we were at a wedding all weekend. My mom came up Friday and watched her, and then Spencer's parents came up yesterday and watched her. And I was just so chill. I was like, I know she's not gonna nap great. She's not gonna go to bed when she needs to. But I was like, why am I gonna let my anxiety take over like their special time with chapel? So I was like, I'm giving the weekend to God and it's gonna be okay. And it's fine. Like she went down tonight at 7 and she's fine. You know?
Mhm.
It's all good.
I'll try to, like, branch off of that because you, like, mentioned anxiety, and I know I always talk about anxiety, but, like, in this, like, postpartum phase, like, I just am anxious a lot. It's gotten a lot better. I shared with y'all, last week, like, after the podcast that, like, I found myself, like, actually giving, like, God control of my anxiety.
Yeah.
And, like, I was letting Bennett play with things and, like, explore things that I usually wouldn't because I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, he's gonna hurt himself."
Good.
But, I've just, like, seen more, like, openness with, like, Bennett, like, letting him explore, and I think, like, in his age right now, like, he's appreciating that I'm not being so anxious about everything.
Right.
Um, I think a lot of, like, my postpartum with anxiety also led to anger, so that was such a great sermon, from Caleb today, and I have some verses that I'm gonna cling to this week. I'll share one later, but I think it's easy to match verses about anxiety and anger because a lot of it happens because you don't let go of all of it.
Yeah.
So,
That's
And
real.
then y'all always blend so well what I'm going to say. It is literally proof that like the Holy Spirit leads this thing because
Yes.
honestly, today, like Caleb's sermon on anger, like that is something I've dealt with my whole life. And now I am watching, my child kind of go through it that has a very similar personality type to me. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And like, Catherine, what you said, it's the anxiety in a way of like always being in a hurry. Like, and then you don't know how to control it and it just pops up. And you're like, I did not mean to do that. And like, even I don't know, in all the things. And so I felt like in this past year, I'm like, there's been so much growth in my spiritual life. Like, I feel like I'm so connected to God. And like, y'all know, like, I wanted this butterfly tattoo forever, but I have not gone to get it. Like, and I know that I haven't gone to get it because I wasn't fully surrendered yet. And so today I'm sitting there. Caleb is like saying all these things. Like, when y'all look at these notes, like, it is, I wrote in green, like second service, black in first service. Like, it looks like ADHD blew up on this page. But so I'm like sitting there and like being the preacher's wife. I don't know. I've like put this pressure on myself that I told myself I wasn't going to. And so I'm sitting there and, Caleb does like the invitation, and he's like, take your rage to restoration. He was like undealt with anger is so dangerous. And and like, if you don't give it over to him, then it's going to turn into bitterness, hatred. And I've caught myself like being bitter over certain things to people that probably don't deserve me to even be bitter at them about. And so I went up to go get communion and I was like, I gotta go in there. And so I went in there and like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead into my verse too, because that's just, I don't know. So I went to the living room today and I don't know, there's just like our living room, like we don't do like an altar call at our church per se, but like our living room is where the prayer counselors are, and there's just somebody there to pray with you. And I feel like we keep saying that on the podcast, like reach out, and like I've reached out to y'all, I've reached out to Caleb, but like I think I needed to confess it a little bit beyond that, like somebody that doesn't know me that well. And so there was like an elder in the living room, and I just looked at him and I was like, I know what undealt with anger does. And I was like, I can already see it like filtering into my kids' life. I was like, I've got to let it go. And so he prayed. He was like, I said some other things. I don't even remember. I was just like word vomiting probably. He's probably like, oh, not really. But he looked at me. He was like, I'm so proud of you. And then he was like, then we went to pray. What's kind of funny is there was no woman prayer counselor. So I think at first they thought I was going in to like be the extra prayer counselor. Sorry. Anyways, that was a side note that didn't need to happen. But so when he went to pray with me, he prayed a verse over me that y'all I've heard 412 times. I always go to that number. I don't know why. But like when he prayed it over me, I knew in that moment, like, that's what I'm going to cling to all week. But it was Psalm 46:10, and it's be still, which piggybacks with Devin's of like slowing down and know that I'm God. And like, I just Caleb had a meeting after church and then another meeting. And so I kind of sat there in my car and I was like, you know what? Let me like actually look at what that verse truly means. And so I tried. I was like, I kind of knew what it meant, but y'all know I don't like sitting still. And I'm like, I love being this chaotic person, like that's what the Holy Most Express is, chaos. Like, let's thrive in it. And I can still be chaotic. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking in just a second. I'm sorry. It was like the B is stop striving. Still is find calm in his presence. And know is deeply personally know that he is constantly there for you. The I am the eternal one that's always been enough, God, the one who doesn't need your control, just your trust. And I feel like it's all the things we've been talking about. It's just I've never been fully surrendered in my anger. And like, I've known that that's my biggest struggle. I kind of joke around my moodiness and irritability, but it's like, what is causing that? And it's that I had not surrendered that over. So I don't know. That was just my whole tidbit. It's like, I'm excelling this week that God's in control and I'm not, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just where I found the mess, you know, because with the coffee situation, I was angry. I tried to act like I wasn't. And I'm really good at like masking things, I guess. Like, I'm really good at smiling, even if I don't want to. I mean, also, like, I'll give you a face, but I'll be like, yeah, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really needed to get that out today. So that was my mess, or my God in the mess.
Yes. So I had someone tell me recently to when I was getting angry. I wasn't angry at the person. I was angry that they perceived me in a certain way.
Okay.
And my dad said, "Catherine, don't let it steal your joy."
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
I let people steal my joy over the smallest things because I didn't want her to look at me and be like, I didn't want to ruin her day. Like,
Right.
was so worried about like what had happened. He was like, "Do not let it steal your joy." So
Yeah.
I pulled a couple verses, but I'm just gonna.
You can do more than one.
I'm gonna do one just because like it kind of deals with like how I speak to Bennett. I have a longer one. I will say the longer one is good, and I'll say it so people can look at it. It's Philippians 4:6-7. That's the long one that y'all can look up. But Proverbs 15:1 is a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
I love that.
And so like being calm and joy filled with Bennett or with the person that might have perceived me a different way, and the people that I interacted with later that day, just being calm and joy filled instead of letting that steal my joy. I think that that's what that verse reminds me of. So, and I like the little shorter one that I can like write somewhere and like
Yeah.
put onto it. Yeah, that's my
Nice.
verse for the week.
Yeah, those are good. My verse for the week, I was at a wedding this weekend. I think I just said that. But I feel like when you're in a wedding and you're in that whole wedding season, things just are so joyful. And I woke up yesterday, you know, when you're at a wedding, you have to get ready at like the butt crack of dawn. So I like walked out of the hotel at like, I think it was like 6:30 or 7. But there was the most beautiful sunrise. So I like sent a picture to our little bridesmaids group chat. I was like, this is the day the Lord has made. And then someone had shared that verse like the night before in one of their toasts. And it's Psalm 118:24. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And I think we've all heard that verse plenty of times, but it's easy to say that verse when it's a beautiful sunrise. It's someone's wedding day. It's like the perfect temperature outside. It's easy to rejoice in a day like that. But I've just been thinking a lot about that verse today and each day rejoicing, no matter what the day brings or what the weekend had brought, or if someone made you angry or you're feeling that anxiety or whatever it is, rejoicing in the Lord's newness and his new mercies every single day, because each day is handcrafted by the Lord himself. And that is enough for us to rejoice in no matter what's going on in our world and in our lives.
Literally. That's so good. So
That
good.
is really good perspective. Wow, so much goodness tonight.
Literally. I think that tied it in all beautifully. No matter what you're going through. And like today is going to be a day I always remember because I've never, like I've said, I've given it to God. I've given it to him, but I've never fully surrendered it. So like this is the day the Lord has made, but
Awesome, Liv.
I'm going to rejoice in it. You
Yeah.
know? So I love that. I love like all the different things on the holy mess. What just happened?
Just hit my knee so hard on the table. I'm so sorry, everyone.
You
It's just,
are great at your
know.
finger. Now you're going to have a bruised knee. I'm sorry.
I know. Sorry. It's just a mess.
It's just a mess. It's the whole vibe, not just the vibe. But this week, I think that we all are going to lean into that being still, but also finding joy in it. Like being still doesn't mean being like a buzzkill. I don't know. It just means I love rejoicing what the Lord has made. Catherine, that verse, I need a tattoo on my tongue. I don't know. I don't know. Not my tongue, but well, so I can look down. I don't know. I need to put it somewhere. Maybe my pupils would be better. I don't know. I don't know why I say the things I say. But for real, do y'all want to go get that butterfly tattoo with me? Y'all should. We can get matching tattoos.
No, I don't.
Do either one of y'all have a tattoo?
No. I've always said I would want one. I think I would only get one for my kids. Like, if I were to ever get a tattoo, I think it would have to be.
Okay. Well, on your
represent my kid.
birthday, we about to hit up the tattoo parlor.
I know my
took
mom and
off
my
that
sister
day.
always try and get, like, we always say we want to get one, but I'm so indecisive. I can't decide on anything. I would
Catherine, it's
never.
okay. You can go for more support. I've already tried to
I'll
get
get a freckle.
Please. We'll get Brian to do it. It'll be so fun. Okay. So, all seriousness, this week, let's lean into that stillness of him, but also the joy-filled side of him.
Mhm.
And, like, I feel like, Catherine, with the harsh words, like that verse in Proverbs, like I said, I need to plaster that everywhere. I feel like we all can bounce off of that go through that, because that harsh word, if we, like, stirs up anger, but a gentle answer, I'm butchering the Bible verse, but they all kind of connect together.
A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
Exactly. And so when you give that gentle answer, it's going to bring that joy. And I've never been mad at somebody that, is gentle with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, but it's different. So I feel like this week we can all lean into that. And then also, if you have any Holy Mess Express stories, please share them with us.
Please.
Because when that listener was listening to the podcast and called me, that was hilarious. I was like, that would be something that would happen to me.
That's funny.
But, well, we love you guys. This week, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and also be looking for us on YouTube. We're also going to still be on Spotify and Apple Music. But my sister-in-law, she's amazing. She's redoing our merchandise website so that it'll be easier for you guys to order. She's updated our website. So we'll launch all that with this episode. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. We're looking forward to seeing you guys in some merchandise. I don't know. It's just funny to say, but who cares? Anyways, we love y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.